100 years of wisdom. 100 years of wisdom, and today, airplane.
Yeah, well, autopilot.
Autopilot quiz facts/facts.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
I want to test your wisdom on this. So, as John mentioned about automatic cars or automated and autonomous cars, planes actually have been automated for a lot longer than you think as well. I think it kind of happened simultaneously with the car industry and the aviation industry and all that together.
Makes sense. John and I are nervous flyers, although it sounds like John might be a little bit worse than I am. How are you on your scale of 1 to 10, Kate? 1, not at all. 10, super nervous.
Oh, not at all.
Really?
Yeah. I just fall asleep. And this turbulence, I'm like annoyed. It just woke me from my sleep. Okay.
I was, sorry, I digress here.
Yeah, no.
I was on a flight back from Tokyo, and I was sleeping on the plane, but I was dreaming on the plane.
Oh.
I was dreaming that I was on a plane, and that in the dream, there was bad turbulence. And that part of the dream happened to perfectly coincide with our plane landing.
Oh.
So now you're afraid of landings.
So what I did was I swung my arm across like really almost violently.
Oh, no.
As you would in a car, like to protect your child if you got in an accident. I did that with the passenger sitting to my right.
Uh-oh.
Yup.
Did you like kind of jab them in the throat? Like what happened with that swing?
I nailed them in the chest
Ow!
with my forearm.
Well, did they say thanks, Daddy?
Seriously.
You're trying to help them.
Oh, I felt so terrible. But yeah, that happened. And that woke me up, obviously. And then I just looked at them and they looked at me like, what is wrong with you? And then I tried to explain I was dreaming. Anyway, like I said, I digress. Off you go, Kate.
Right. Well, to help your understanding of what defines automated on a plane, it's basically a computer system that uses the pilot's input to adjust and maintain the airplane's heading, altitude, and speed. So on top of that, there's also FMS, which is flight management system for the plane to figure out the most efficient way of flying to the destination based on like a network of sensors and et cetera, et cetera.
So therefore, the plane can adjust its course mid-flight. It won't just keep going if it's going to fly into a dangerous weather system.
Right. It'll kind of pick up all these sensors based on some of the input that the pilot had actually put in advance, and it would do most of the flying, essentially.
You think, I think, when I'm on a plane, I just imagine that the plane takes off and then it just goes in a straight line to its destination.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That's in my brain. That's what's happening. But probably that's 0% of the time.
Now, with that being said, pilots are left to do with very little when they're actually on the plane.
Which is a frightening thought.
Yeah, but so here is my question. True or false? Pilots can sleep during the flight.
Oh, I'm going to say true.
That is true, but only one of them.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's why they have co-pilots. They have a whole system up there.
Yeah, so when one pilot's taking a nap, the other one has to stay awake.
That's very, very true. They have to do it like separately.
Yeah.
And mind you, co-pilot, it's never like a sidekick pilot. They're very equally qualified pilots that can fly the plane at any time.
So they're just kind of like a backup pilot in a sense?
In case like maybe something might happen to the first pilot.
Sure.
Maybe they might have a panic attack or something, they just want to make sure that there's somebody who can actually fly
because they fell asleep
the
and they were
plane.
dreaming that they were in turbulence. And they almost hit the co-pilot in the chest.
What are the odds of that happening like right when the plane lands?
It's very Inception-like moment.
Seriously.
Okay, then true or false? Pilots can read during the flight because it's long hours of not really doing anything.
Well, if they can sleep, are they not allowed to read?
Hold on. I want to think about this one for a sec.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, true.
Well, if they're allowed to read, then would they be allowed to watch a movie? Or would they be allowed to do a crossword puzzle?
You got to
or
imagine yes.
knit
right?
a scarf?
Oh, knitting a scarf. That's nice.
That's a fun image.
So what is your answer?
Well, I'm going to guess no.
And your reason?
Because my reasoning is, if you aren't actively being a, pilot or whatever, right? Then it's nap time. But if it's not nap time, it's work time. So there's no leisure time is what is my point.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that a book could be a distraction, or knitting a scarf would be a distraction, or watching a movie would be a distraction. In case something happened, you wouldn't be paying attention. But why don't you give us this answer after 3:30 if that's okay with you?
Oh, sure.
Send in your answers. What do you think? Is it can pilots read on a plane? Is that okay or not? Juan Scat says, I don't think it's okay to read a book. Elena Bellin says, I don't think so because it interrupts their focus. Judy says, I agree with Steve. They have to function. They have to pay attention to time. They have to follow a schedule exactly for safety. So no reading. Cherish says, would it be like texting while driving? Then no, pilots can't read a book while flying unless they're reading signals to a tower maybe. And 6883 says, I think most airlines have differing policies. The pilots are being paid regardless, so they should do as the company allows. I think the only reading or laptop use is if you're reading a manual, and that's a whole separate worry if the pilot is reading that. I personally do not think that they should be able to read or do anything up close. Here's why. Your eye muscles are in a state of rest when looking off in the distance. For example, a distance greater than 2.5 meters away. When you're looking at things closer than that, your ciliary muscles are contracting. This is why you should take hourly breaks from your work computer. It can lead to headaches and eye strains. And if I'm on a plane, I want my pilot's eyes and body to be rested. I feel like that was a report.
Yeah.
And I feel like that deserves a coffee voucher. So 6883, congratulations. Enjoy the coffee. Lots of great information in there.
Well, yeah, I'm going to Dr. 68883 next time I need my eyes checked.
Yeah, right. Ciliary muscles. I've never said that on the show before.
Did we just learn something right now?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's the answer, Kate?
The answer is false. You cannot read on the plane.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah. Why you can sleep is, yes, like you can take small naps in between, like, between the co-pilots.
Yeah.
But reading is, so even though the plane is technically flying in autopilot mode, you still have to monitor everything really carefully. Therefore, you can't read. So I'm guessing knitting is off the table, watching a movie is off the table. Certainly reading a manual should definitely be done before that person.
Although if need be, I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah, I just kind of need to know what this button does.
Yeah. How do I turn right again?
Yep, so that's the question.
Do you want your pilot to be funny? This is a separate topic, but this happened to me.
Oh.
I was on a plane from Halifax to, I think, New Jersey or maybe Montreal. And we got on the plane, and you know how the pilot comes on and says, good morning, good morning, passengers. Thank you for flying air, whatever. So this guy comes on, and he says, good morning, I'm your pilot, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, I'm not a real pilot. My brother is, but he's sick today.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know.
See, like in the U.S., when I flew domestic all the time, living there, we'd regularly have pilots and stewardesses make cracking jokes, and it kind of put us at ease.
The flight attendants often do that. You'll see viral videos, right?
Lots of them, yeah.
Yeah, these days. But the pilots, you rarely see that.
I would feel comforted if I heard that joke, because then I'd go, of course he's a pilot. He's making that joke. He's confident enough. Why would he do that?
Or is he?
Yeah. We were mid-flight, and he goes, once again, welcome to air, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm your pilot, blah, blah, blah. If everyone looks out the left side of the plane, it'll tip over. So don't do that. He was good.
That's a great pilot.
He was good. I didn't mind it at all, although I could see how some people might be put
I know,
off
that's
by
kind of nerve-wracking. You can't even get a response like, are they reacting to my joke? Are they not? Like, do I keep doing this or not?
If you're a pilot telling jokes like that, I don't think you care about the response.
That's also very true. Or if you're filling in with your brother or for your brother. All right, give us another quiz question.
All right. Now, like one of the texts mentioned, somebody who sent in that all airlines and countries might have different regulations for flights and stuff. I do believe that most of the autopilot planes, they require the pilot to use as much autopilot as possible to reduce the amount of human error, kind of similar to like the auto driving kind of concept.
I was told that, and I have no idea if this is true, but I was told that if things go according to plan, the only things the pilots do are takeoff and landing.
I think that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless something happens and they have to take over in between. So much so that some airlines actually prohibit the first officer from doing manual things when they are below 3,000 feet.
Oh.
Yeah. So if they're above 3,000 feet, they need to be doing automated. Unless there's something like, going horribly
Yeah,
wrong.
because if you're under 3,000 feet, that presumes that you're in an emergency situation.
Right, and you have to land or you're about to take off. So those are the only situations that the pilot is required to do.
Oh.
That's how advanced the autopilot system is. And now that being said, it's not about just flying straight into the destination that's being inputted into it. They actually use like a negative feedback system. So if the autopilot is set to maintain the aircraft at a level thing, then once it kind of loses that, it'll deduct, what's causing that and then bring the plane back to its level.
It'll do the math.
Exactly. And because of this system, the autopilot is actually used in outer space as well. For shuttles, space stations, satellites, and all kinds of things that are around out there.
Okay.
So what is one of the main reasons the autopilot is needed in space?
Okay.
Because in space, no one can hear you scream. No.
That was one of my last Facebook posts. Was they had this live stream from the outside the International Space Station, and I thought that was interesting, so I clicked on the video, and then my Facebook post was, I just tuned into the live stream from outside the International Space Station and was immediately blanked off because there was no sound. I need to go back to school.
Oh my God. Space is a terrifying place.
Seriously. I'm thinking it would be for when the space shuttle docks. Oh, no, they do that manually in the movies.
Yeah.
Right?
In the movies, they do.
Yeah.
So what they use AI for, like in the space shuttle, you say?
Yes. So when you go out into space, you think what we see in movies normally are just like infinite amount of openness. But actually there's quite a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, there's less space junk.
Garbage.
Yeah, and...
Oh, so the AI avoids the space garbage. It avoids running into meteors and things like that.
Actually, if they do kind of bump into it, micro meteors, that is, nothing that's going to destroy the shuttle, it'll recalculate immediately to get it back on its course.
Because it's getting shifted from its course.
Yes.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So it's not,
human.
It's not human, what is it, astronauts like trying to calculate immediately and doing that. It's already calculated. It goes back to its original course.
So this is kind of like the airplane where it has a destination, but unlike an airplane, space shuttle might be getting hit by debris, so it readjusts automatically.
And
that's fascinating.
Also similar to the automobile,
right?
Where when Kate was driving and it thought it needed to readjust back into the proper lane.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
So in a sense, Kate,
you
were operating the space station.
Oh, was I?
In a way.
I should be totally qualified to fly into space.
In a very, very,
you
very
are. You're always
small
spaced
way.
out.
Hire me, Elon Musk.
Fun little facts about Autopilot here today. Well done. All right, let's take a break, shall we? Tones and I fly away. We'll finish up the show with your messages, but just before we get to them, talking about pilots and flying today. When I was in high school, my friend John, he got his pilot's license. So one day he took us out to fly, and it was just a single propeller plane. The propeller at the front of the plane.
Yeah.
So 2 seats in the front, and I think you could sit 2 or 3 people in the back. But that's it. And so we were flying, and he let me take the controls for a few minutes, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing that he showed us was, he said, okay, watch this. So he pulls back on the, I don't know what you call it, steering wheel, whatever, the thing, whatever that thing that throttle, I don't know. So he pulls back, and the plane starts to ascend at a very steep angle, right? So he said, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on this steering wheel or whatever, and the plane is immediately going to start to descend.
Yeah.
So watch what happens to the stuff on the floor. So on the floor was, I don't know, just whatever's on the floor of an airplane. Nothing too crazy, right? So when he went from ascending to descending, everything on the floor started to float.
Oh.
Because, right? You get
gravity,
this,
zero gravity.
exactly. So like these heavy things were like floating in space. It was kind of a cool moment.
So you were kind of on a small vomit comet.
Kind of. You know, John, he went on to be an F-16 or F-18 pilot in the Canadian military. He's one of those guys that was like dangerously smart. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a genius. But he liked to mess around with stuff like that. But it was a cool experience for him to show us that. All right, so let's get to your messages. Here's what I think question of the day today. What do you think is a job that can never be replaced by AI or robot? Kate, kick us off, please.
3356 says, 우리 아들 새 타고 놀아주는 거요. 하루 만에, 아니 몇 시간 만에 망가지고 말걸요. 엄마니까 참고 견디며 놀아주고 사랑으로 키울 수 있습니다. Playing with my 3 sons, it'll be broken within hours, and I can bear it because I'm the mom, and I embrace it with love.
The AI would be broken. That's hilarious. Judy says, hi, Steve. I don't think any AI can replace hairdressers. How could they cut hair? My friends and my husband, my kids and my husband get a haircut at least once a month. Hairdressers won't lose their jobs in the future. How great of a job is that?
Yeah.
5259, John.
5259 says, athletes. It's always fun to watch a sports game to see how humans break their records, access their limits. But for robots, everything's calculated and predictable. And that's really apropos because of the Olympics. That's why we watch it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we want people to kind of beat the limits and see how far they can go.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Although I'm still pushing for someday the steroid Olympics.
Oh my God.
If you're not on steroids, you get kicked out.
Oh,
now we'll see some new records then.
All right. 1425.
Dude, you just call me dude again.
You got dude by me. 1425 says, 새 신사도 추천해요. 일반 마사지랑 달라서 때가 잘 나오게 하려면 습도, 비누랑 타월, 문지르는 세기 등 인공지능은 따라할 수 없는 센서가 필요하죠. 게다가 등판도 살포시 때려가며 뒤집을 신호도 줘야 되고. Do you guys know what it means?
Yeah, okay.
새 신사.
What's that part mean?
Means it's the scrubber in the 목욕탕s in Korea.
In the sauna.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you prefer that to be AI?
I would, but I get this person because it's like, oh, you know, it's not just like a normal massage. It's like you got to have like very precise like touch or like, how does it?
Yeah.
You can't go too hard or you can't go too soft.
Yeah.
And then, you know how they kind of tap you to flip to the other side and whatnot?
I don't know, and I never will
either,
know because
Oh
I'm never going to do
You
that.
guys are missing out is all I can say.
My mom did it, though. My mom did it, and she didn't know what she was going in
Oh
for.
no, you didn't even warn her.
I didn't. I just let her go with my friend, and it was so cute. My mom came home from this, and I'm waiting for her to say something, right? And mom goes like this, Steven. And I said, what, Mom? She's like, I have to talk to you about something. I said, I think I know what you're going to talk to me about.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Oh, man.
Kyung-Ah Lee says OBGYN, good answer. 7881 says a good leader should inspire and motivate others, and robots perhaps can manage and control employees, but I highly doubt we will be inspired by a robot.
Oh, good answer.
Yeah. So any type of leader then, right? So
it could be a CEO or a president or whatever. Right?
Yep. But if it's a CEO, then it would also have to be the vice president. And then it would have to be the team leaders too. Oh. So it would keep going down the chain.
Nobody can be replaced.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you could just have one big brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Scary.
Managers too for sports teams.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because managers,
or coaches.
Yeah, they're all characters themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and they are leaders. That's a great answer. Tetchi, John, what does Tetchi say?
Tetchi says a job that robots or AI can't replace is a chef. As robots can't smell or taste food, nor can they eat organic foods. Lucky for us. But, as we already talked about, they're starting to try.
Oh.
You know, with robots cooking fried chicken and stuff in Korea.
Yeah. Where is that shop?
I don't know, but I saw a documentary and there was a famous actor, an older guy who went in and tasted it. And it just showed this massive, frightening arm dredging the chicken in the flour.
Interesting.
Frying it, and it's like, and the guy eats it as delicious.
when I was in Saigon, I had some fried chicken where it was done in a different way. So usually you take a piece of fried chicken and you dunk it in the oil, right?
Yeah.
Well, this was different. And the owner of the chicken restaurant built the machine himself.
Whoa.
Oh.
It was
kinda cool.
it was an oil waterfall.
Onto the chicken.
Onto the chicken. So he,
Whoa.
a robotic arm didn't control the chicken. A person did, but they moved it back and forth and around in the oil waterfall to evenly cook it that way.
That's brilliant.
It was really good. That's a famous chicken place in Saigon, by the way.
And that's the kind of thing maybe what some of our listeners are writing in about is this human innovation that creates it. But, but maybe it's a robot now.
Yeah, maybe. It could be. 9609 says, good afternoon. I don't think the president can ever be replaced by AI, though it's funny to imagine all the robot candidates doing election campaigns on TV, etc. Yeah, right. Or a robot debate.
Oh,
That too.
Oh,
that'll be
man.
hard to beat, especially when it comes to like data.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be one long debate.
What
Yeah.
does Cherish say, Kate?
AI can store all the knowledge in this world, but the wisdom, the warmth, and the love of human cannot be copied and replaced.
Aw, hearts.
2983 says, 출산이요.
Oh, this was what I was thinking earlier because when we were talking about that movie, there was another movie, Blade Runner.
Right.
Yeah, robots can't give birth.
Right.
I've never seen Blade Runner.
Oh my goodness, you guys have to go watch
We have nothing to say to each other until you do. Watch it tonight.
I don't know why I've never watched Blade Runner before.
Tonight.
5674 says 공감, 배려, 사랑 아닐까요?
Oh yeah, having like empathy, being compassionate, having love for somebody.
All right, Steve, we still love you. You don't have to watch Blade Runner.
Just by the weekend, right?
Right.
I'm just trying to prove I'm not AI right now.
5224 says 종교인 무당.
Oh yeah, like a religious person or a shamanist.
Right.
Yeah.
John 4418.
Don't laugh, but I don't think AI or robots could ever replace magicians.
That's a great
That
answer.
is a brilliant answer.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go a lot faster here. Kate 1425, please.
심리 치료 작업은 로봇이 대신 못할 것 같아요. 뇌를 로봇을 가질 수 없기 때문이죠. 인간 심리는 뇌에 연결되어 있다고 개인적 생각하기 때문에 로봇 접근 불가 분야일 것 같아요. 또 다른 직업은 인간의 뇌를 쓰는 창작 영역인 아티스트 직업이라고 부를 수 있는 음악, 미술, 소설가, 시인 등 대체 불가하거든요. Same again, psychiatrists or therapists, and then also the artist realm, like music, art, writing, poetry.
1028, please.
안녕하세요. 전 초등학교 5학년 김지우입니다. 차에서 라디오 들어 문자 보냅니다. 인공지능은 사람과 감정을 공유할 수 없을 것 같습니다. Hello, I am in 5th grade. 김지우. Hello, 지우. I'm listening from the car and I'm sending a text message. I don't think AI or robots can ever replace the human emotion.
Perfect answer, Gio. Thanks for listening. SH Kim says, there you have the hardest unreplaceable job, and that's being a mom. 5480 says, one job AI cannot replace would be a good cook. There's something that can't be replaced from that 손맛.
Yeah, totally.
You can't imitate it. 6563 says, I don't think robots or AI will be able to replace artwork. Zeus says, a pastor, a monk, or a father. I don't think people will have faith or spiritual connections with robots. So many more answers came in today regarding our topic, but unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. If you did send in a message and we didn't get to it, we do apologize for that. Although, as I always say, and we always do read them here in the studio. We'll leave it there for the Steve Hatherly Show for this afternoon. Thank you very much for being with us over the last couple of hours. Kate, thank you.
Thank you.
John, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you as always for your listenership and your participation. Coffee vouchers today, 688-333-567-881. And Kyung-Ah Lee, send us an email, please, so we can get your info and get that prize to you. Wrapping it up today, 21 Pilots Ride. Enjoy the track. Have a great day. We're back tomorrow. Hatherly out.